And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to takesbyfans.com/watch. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. All right, today's a big old Saturday, folks. Playoffs kick off today. Ooh, I cannot wait, and I know y'all can't wait either. Couple more hours, but, we're a few hours away, so I guess we can celebrate that. Tipping off at 4:30 today, Raiders at the Bengals. And, we're going to kick off this wild card weekend with this has a chance to be a high-scoring, high-octane, high-passing day here at the 4:30 game. So we may be kind of getting thrown into the fire of great playoff games. So truly buckle up, folks, and get excited, folks. 4:30, Raiders at the Bengals, going to be a good one. So we'll preview the games a little bit today on the show, but our main focus is deciding the MVP, folks, all right? So we're going heavy, in-depth into the MVP. We're going to be talking stats. We're going to be watching film. We're going to be debating. We're going to be arguing with ourselves and seeing who really does deserve the MVP for this season. I know everybody in the media is kind of saying Aaron Rodgers. I don't think we necessarily agree. Once again, we're going to check all the information. We're going to go thorough with it, folks, and crown an MVP. We've also got other candidates that are kind of, not at the forefront, but we'll talk it all through when we get there. And then, obviously, we've got to talk about the NBA and break that down from what just happened last night. So at the end of the show, we'll kind of, talk about the playoff games today and make sure the bets are all good to go. Make sure no crazy line changes are happening and all that. We'll touch on that at the end of the show. And then tomorrow we will break down the games and get ready for the Sunday games for our pregame show at noon tomorrow. So we don't even need a set of time today. No time today in the NBA Daily 10 here. We are all good to go, so let's just jump right into it here with our NBA Daily 10. Alrighty, tons of games on in the NBA last night, and folks, we're still here. Yes, sir, we were officially back yesterday betting on the NBA, and we carried that over to last night, baby. We went 2 for 2 over the last 2 days. We had a 2-teamer on Thursday, and we just hit a 3-teamer last night. Bingo bango. So we are officially back in the NBA, folks. We told y'all we'd be back, and we are back. We are finding that great value. We absolutely love it. So here we go. Games from last night. First one up, Magic at the Hornets, and the Magic get the win. Yes, sir. Now the Magic are taking that next step. They started to take that first step of being competitive, and now they just beat a very good Hornets team. So the Magic get a big old win here, 116-109 over the Hornets on the road. Franz Wagner, fantastic performance, 19 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, a plus 24 on the floor in 36 minutes. The second highest plus on the floor was Moritz Wagner, his brother, coming off the bench for 26 points, and he was only a plus 11 on the floor. So the Wagner twins are getting it done out here for this Magic team, and we absolutely love it. Cole Anthony, only 8 points and 8 shots last night, but he did have 8 assists and 6 rebounds, so we'll give him credit for that. Gary Harris with a big ol' 18 points, and then Robin Lopez at the 5, 10 points and 3 rebounds. Solid performance coming off the bench with Terrence Ross, 10 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and Jalen Suggs, 12 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Fantastic night all around here by the Magic. And another thing to take note of is that Cole Anthony, a little bit of an underwhelming performance overall. It's everybody else still getting it done. And that's what we saw by this Magic team when Cole Anthony was out for a couple of games a couple of weeks ago. The entire team was getting it done in his absence. He's back. Took a little bit of a little while to win some games, but here they are, always competitive, and now taking that next step of winning games. Once again, we are starting to kind of raise our green flag of betting on the Magic now, so shout out to the Magic. We'll see if this is a true turnaround. We hope so. Well done for the Magic last night. And then for the Hornets, a little bit of a disappointing game. No bench help really at all last night. The starters had some decent performances. LaMelo Ball, 23 points. He led the team in scoring, 8 assists. Fantastic. 4 rebounds as well, 3 steals. We get Terry Rozier, 19 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. He shot absolutely awfully efficient, folks. 4 of 15 from the 3 and then 26% on 23 shots. Big time yikes last night. Mason Plumlee down low, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Fantastic. Miles Bridges, 20 points. And then we had Gordon Hayward, 18 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, but just nothing great off this bench here. Leading scorer off the bench was Jalen McDaniels, but only 7 points and 5 rebounds in 15 minutes. So little lackluster here off the bench for the Hornets, where the bench was thriving last night for the Magic, and the Magic get the win. 116-109. All right, then we get the Raptors at the Pistons. A big old bad loss here for this Raptors team. A little short-handed last night, so unfortunate. But Fred VanVleet, 24 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, still scoring, decently. Not efficient last night. The man shot 28% on 21 shots. Yikes. Scotty Barnes, only 8 points on 30% shooting. Pascal Siakam did his thing, 23 points, 4 assists, 11 rebounds. That was great. And then OG Anunoby with a nice 16 points, but come up a little bit short here. No great bench help either for this Raptors team. Chris Boucher, 10.6 rebounds. That was their best bench performance. But man, oh man, losing to this Pistons team, a little bit inexcusable, honestly. With no Jeremy Grant still. So what are we doing? So leading scorer was Trey Lyles coming off the bench with 21 big old points and 7 rebounds. Cade Cunningham, 18 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Hamidou Diallo, 18 points, 6 rebounds. And then Sadiq Bey with a nice 15 points and 4 rebounds to go along all with that. But man, oh man, real big time disappointment in this Raptors team. You still had kind of your core 4 out there. You got Scotty Barnes back. We understand no Gary Trent Jr., but man, oh man, needed to get it done a little bit more out here. So Raptors, a big old disappointing loss last night, 103-87 over the Pistons. All right, then we get the Suns at the Pacers, and this was one of our official bets last night. Suns -5.5, and they had no problem. A real great game all throughout. They took control, took command right from the first quarter. Pacers made it a game in the third quarter, but then the fourth quarter came, and the Suns reopened up that big old lead and commanded it for the rest of the game here. So Suns cover the 5 easy. They win 112-94 over the Pacers, and this Suns team, folks, when they're at full strength, this is a fantastic team, and we saw it last night. Chris Paul, only 12 points, but that's what he does. 9 assists, fantastic. Devin Booker, 35 points. That's who we want scoring, and that's exactly who scored last night, and we absolutely love it. And then DeAndre Ayton down low, 27 points, 12 rebounds. Dominant last night over Sabonis, playing the 5 down there. 14 points and 14 rebounds for Sabonis, but letting DeAndre Ayton go to work, we absolutely love it. Jay Crowder, 8 points on 6 shots. He shot 2 of 2 from the 3. Fantastic. The 11 rebounds, absolutely fantastic. And then Cameron Payne off the bench, only 11 points, 5 assists. Nothing fantastic here, but the starters were fantastic, so they didn't need the bench last night. And then for the Pacers, the classic Pacers, not doing anything. They made it competitive in the third quarter. Only one quarter. They only won one quarter, which was the third quarter. But man, oh man, this Pacers team is classic Pacers. Why we have so much confidence betting against them, and we only had to swallow 5.5. We knew that was fantastic value. They win by, how many points? They win by 18 points. Man, oh man. So now the Pacers, Sabonis, 14 points, 6 assists, 14 rebounds, still a -6 on the floor, unfortunately. Karis LeVert, 20 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. That's a solid performance last night. And then we had Justin Holiday with 25 big old points as well. But besides those 3 players, the 4th leading scorer was Torrey Craig with 8 points coming off the bench. Just there's no depth here. There's no consistency. There's really no even big superstar. I think Sabonis has truly lost his superstar status, and it's unfortunate here. He is usually a dominant force in this game. He usually, posts up to close up to triple doubles almost on a nightly basis. We get it, but it never translates to wins, and he never pulls it out in the clutch in the big games. So yes, Sabonis, he's got the stats, but he's like the Kirk Cousins. Sabonis is Kirk Cousins of the NBA, folks. Stats are great, but the wins are truly lacking big time. So man, oh man, classic Pacers will be classic Pacers, and that's exactly what they were last night, classic Pacers. So Suns get the win, 112-94. All right, now we get the Celtics at the 76ers. Another official bet from us last night. 76ers minus 3.5. And once again, they win by 12. No problem here. Once again, another dominant performance here right from the get-go from the 76ers. So let's start with them since they got the win. Joel Embiid, 25 points, 6 assists, 13 rebounds. Dominant performance, a plus 20 on the floor. The highest plus-minus for the 76ers last night. Then we had Tyrese Maxey back scoring. We love it. 23 points, 5 assists, absolutely fantastic. Seth Curry, 17 points, 7 assists. He shot 5 of 9 from the 3. And then Tobias Harris, 17 big ol' points, 9 rebounds. They're back, folks. Man, oh man, we love this 76ers starting lineup. And once again, no Danny Green last night, so Matisse Thybulle filling in at the 3. And we like Matisse Thybulle in lieu of Danny Green anyway. They get the same production, and Matisse Thybulle's younger. So yeah, let's go with that upgrade. So Thybulle, 8 points. He had 5 steals, 4 rebounds. Once again, he only took 6 shots, so the points aren't there, but Danny Green doesn't score points like that either, so we'll let it to the other 4 here, the dominant 4 here for the 76ers to put up all the points. We've got no problem with that. And then just some solid production coming off the bench. Furkan Korkmaz, 7 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Andre Drummond, 9 points, 8 rebounds in only 15 minutes. Some solid bench there. And man, oh man, Tyrese Maxey, we love seeing this big old performance. He's back to, this is what we saw from Tyrese Maxey in kind of the first 3 weeks of the season. Now back at it, and we absolutely love it. All right, and then for the Celtics last night, Jason Tatum, 20 points, 5 assists, 11 rebounds, classic Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, 21 points, only 1 assist, 2 rebounds. That's not classic Jason Tatum, so that's, or Jaylen Brown, excuse me. So a little lackluster there. Robert Williams, 12 points, 14 rebounds, and then once again, just nothing else great from the starters. But Peyton Pritchard, pretty solid performance last night coming off the bench. 17 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. The man shot 70%. This is what we've been begging for going back to last season. We need these kind of younger players, Aaron Nesmith, Peyton Pritchard, to get a little bit more involved. You need this bench to get it done. You cannot just rely on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to bring you to the promised land by all their offensive production. It rarely works. We've seen it over the last 4 years. You can't win with just them being ball dominant and doing it all themselves. It does not work, but the Celtics team has done nothing to develop their younger players, rarely playing them. It took Marcus Smart to be out to finally play Peyton Pritchard 24 minutes out here, and here Aaron Nesmith still only playing 9 minutes, but he had 10 points. That's what we need. Get them out there, get them acclimated, so when it comes time to kind of make that playoff push, and it's going to be a tough playoff push for this Celtics team this year because they got out to such a slow start, and the Eastern Conference is pretty solid kind of all throughout. There's nothing like fantastic in the Eastern Conference like there is in the Western Conference, but there is still some real nice, good play here. And the Celtics are currently the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference, not in the play-in tournament yet. So they're truly going to have to buckle down. They're truly going to have to try and make that run. And that depth is going to be an issue if you don't continue to progress and grow these younger talents out here. Robert Williams, you got him more play last season because their big play last season was trash. They had Daniel Tice. I mean, come on. So Robert Williams getting it done, evolving, getting better. Now he's their starting big, and he's, pretty solid out there usually. But we need some bench here. The Celtics team needs something else, and they need to stop letting just Tatum and Brown do it all because that does not translate to wins. We see it. So well done to Peyton Pritchard. Shout out to that, man, but Celtics are still losing, man, oh man. So the 76ers get the win, 111-99. Alrighty, here we go. Next game up here, and this was a bonus pick. This wasn't an official pick. We left this up to y'all. We don't bet back-to-backs, and the Warriors were on the back-to-back, but we still did like Bulls minus 3.5, and man, oh man, what a blunder here by this Bulls team. They get absolutely obliterated, 138-96. This is why we don't bet back-to-backs. Warriors coming off the back-to-back got absolutely demolished the game previous. The Bulls, no game back-to-back, so they're coming out a little bit, sluggish, where the Warriors are coming in are kind of like in rhythm, prepared. They've got it down. They just played the other night, so they were all warmed up. They were ready to go. They put up 138 points. Bulls came out flat as heck. Zach LaVine got injured, unfortunately, and then everybody just phoned it in for the rest of the game. So we do not officially bet back-to-backs, and this is the perfect example why, folks. Even though the Bulls minus 3.5 looked like good value, Warriors were coming off the back-to-back. They were ready to go. So Warriors get the big old win here, 138-96. No Klay Thompson last night. He was on rest. Still no Draymond Green, and they get the win. Steph Curry, 19 big old points, 4 of 10 from the 3. Jordan Poole back in the starting lineup, and this is where he belongs. This is where he thrives. 22 points, 5 of 9 from the 3, and 5 assists to go along with that. Then we had Andrew Wiggins getting it done, and we love Andrew Wiggins stepping it up big time here. 21 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. He shot 72% on 11 shots. Absolutely fantastic. And then Kevon Looney, a really nice night down low, 10 points, 4 assists, and 12 rebounds. And let's also shout out Jonathan Kuminga, a huge old 25 points coming off the bench, 25 points in 25 minutes, leading the team in scoring. You gotta love it. So everybody was on for this Warriors team last night, where the Bulls, everybody phoned it in. Zach LaVine got injured real early on in the game, the first 3 minutes, and it was kind of over from there. Kind of over right from the jump anyway. But Zach LaVine, 3 minutes, gets injured. They're kind of saying it's not going to be bad, but they're still having an MRI, and they still wanted to be big time cautious with it. But it is not seeming too serious. That's all we kind of know of right now. But DeMar DeRozan, 17 points, 7 assists. That's kind of light for him. Vucevic, 19 points, 5 assists, 14 rebounds. Lonzo Ball, 15 points, only 3 assists. We have Kobe White, leading scorer for the squad last night. We love Kobe White, folks. We want Kobe White being the main starter here. And here we go. Lonzo Ball, only 23 minutes of play. Kobe White off the bench, 28 minutes. So we like Kobe White starting. We'll see what happens. We'll see what this Bulls team does. But Kobe White last night, 20 big old points on 52% shooting. We'll take it. So Bulls get absolutely smacked last night, 138-96. All right, next game up here, Hawks at the Heat, and this was another bonus pick. We liked it. We didn't officially take it, but we put that out for y'all. Heat minus 4.5, and bingo bango, they win by 6. Cover 124-118. This Heat team gets it done, folks. Scrappy. They lost the lead late in the game. They got it back and carried it out for the rest of the game here. Jimmy Butler did play last night, 23 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds. Fantastic. Love it. Omer Yurtseven still at the 5. Bam Adebayo should be back soon, folks. I'm talking next week. Bam Adebayo should be back to go. And this Heat team winning without him, getting him back. They're going to be that powerhouse again, folks. You cannot sleep on this Miami Heat team. This is one of the most impressive teams in the season so far. I would probably say at least top 3, and you could probably make the argument for number 1 most impressive team this season. I'm sure you make your argument. I could probably agree with it. So this Heat team, folks, just everybody getting it done. PJ Tucker even put up 17 points last night. Man, oh man. They needed some scoring last night, and PJ Tucker got it done with 17 huge-ass points. You gotta love it. Max Truss playing the 2 here. 16 points. Kyle Lowry, 13 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. The starters all got it done, and y'all know they got that deep bench. Tyler Hero led the team in scoring, 24 points. Yes. And then Dwayne Dedmon coming off the bench in only 14 minutes, 12 points and 8 rebounds. Man, oh man, this Heat team, folks, they will all get it done. They will all step up. Big time next man up mentality. Big time overcome any obstacles. Big time barking, because this team is full of dogs. You got to love this Heat team, folks. Bet them whenever you can, and that's exactly what we did last night. So Heat get the big old win here, 124-118. Or I guess we got to talk about this Hawks team. All right, we forgot to do that. No Clint Capella last night, so we had Georgie Dieng being the starting big. 2 points, 4 rebounds in only 15 minutes. We had Trae Young, 24 points, 9 assists. Real solid night by him. And then Bogdanovich, a little disappointing. 7 points on 1 of 6 from the 3. Come on, Bogdan, you're way better than that. We have John Collins, 16 points, 5 rebounds. And DeAndre Hunter, a nice 20 points as well. Solid production coming off the bench with Danilo Gallinari, a huge-ass 18 points, 5 rebounds, and Kevin Huerter a nice 15 points as well, but just could not close out the game because that's what the Heat do. They will always close out. They will always dig deep, especially at home, folks. Respect the Heat. Respect the Heat. Love it. Heat get the win, 124-118. All right, next game up here, Cavs at the Spurs, and the Cavs minus 5.5, folks. Our last official pick of the night, Cavs minus 5.5, and they win by 5, or Cavs minus 3.5, they win by 5. I was going to say, I knew it hit, but the numbers weren't adding up. That's correct. Cavs minus 3.5, they win by 5. Bango, bango. They win 114-109 over the Spurs last night. Jared Allen, 17 points, 16 rebounds. Love it. Darius Garland, 32 giant points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Yeah, I shot 4 of 8 from the 3. And then we have Evan Mobley, 15 points and 6 rebounds. So, you know, the little bit of the big 3 here for this Cavs team, truly getting it done. And then C.D. Osman coming off the bench, 14 points, folks. Kevin Love only playing 16 minutes last night, 7 points, 4 rebounds. We'll also shout that man out. Solid performance, but man, oh man, C.D. Osman stepping up. Darius Garland going manic. Jared Allen doing his thing. Evan Mobley, the rookie, still getting us constant production here. This Cavs team got to start respecting this Cavs team. Now, obviously, this Cavs team isn't as good as the Heat, but this team still deserves a lot of respect. And could you imagine if Jared Allen was still on that Nets team? Remember, they traded him last year for absolutely no reason, just because he was probably going to be worth a lot of money, which is true, but still, damn. I'm sure Jared Allen would have probably taken a little bit of a pay cut to try and win a ring with Durant and Irving and James Harden and Patty Mills, but they force him out, and now they don't got really any good bigs. They got Nicholas Claxton. All right, I take Jared Allen any day of the week. But well done for the Cavs last night. We absolutely love it. And then for the Spurs, well done for keeping it close. DeJounte Murray had a manic game, 30 points, 8 assists, 14 rebounds, and he was a +6 on the floor despite the loss in 35 minutes. Also, Jacob Poeltl, 0 points, but he had 12 rebounds, and he also was a +4 on the floor in 32 minutes. So, solid performance there. They kept it close, just couldn't pull it out at the end. Truly unfortunate. Let's also shout out Keldon Johnson, a big old 18 points, and then the bench, some solid performance this year. Lonnie Walker, 11 points, 6 assists. We had Bryn Forbes again, 15 big old points. Bryn Forbes is getting it done for the Spurs team consistently. A huge bench presence here for offensive production. So we'll see if this Spurs team doesn't seem like they're able to turn it around. They're kind of taking a slight step of being competitive, but it's going to be a giant step to start winning some of these games here. But well done for the Cavs to close out 114-109. All right, then we get the Mavericks at the Grizzlies here. Grizzlies lose, and once again, you don't bet the back-to-backs. Grizzlies on the back-to-back, and they get kind of demolished here. 112-85. Really kind of a disappointing performance by this Grizzlies team, but they were just coming off of like 10 straight wins, so I guess we can give them a loss here and not really kind of go and knock them too hard, because we still know this Grizzlies team is one of the best teams in the league despite this loss last night. John Morant, 19 points, led the team in scoring, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Desmond Bane, 16 points, and then Kyle Anderson, 12 points coming off the bench. Everything else less than 12 points scoring. So offensive production was real light last night for the Grizzlies, where the Mavericks, no Porzingis, but I believe he just cleared COVID protocols today, but he still probably won't go for a few days just because of conditioning. So this Mavericks team gonna get Porzingis back soon. Luka Doncic, triple-double last night, 27 points, led the team in scoring, 10 assists, led the team in assists, 12 rebounds, led the team in rebounds like he does. Jalen Brunson, a nice 15 points, 5 steals, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. Dwight Powell playing the 5 still, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Maxi Kleber filling in for Porzingis at the 4, 3 points, 7 rebounds on only 3 shots, and then Dorian Finney-Smith to round out the starters with 13 big old points. But man, oh man, this bench production, where has this bench production been all season long? Jeez. Tim Hardaway Jr., 16 points. Marquise Chris, 15 points, 6 rebounds. And then Reggie Bullock, 10 points, 9 rebounds, all coming off the bench there. Wonderful job to help beat this very good streaking Grizzlies team. So Mavericks get the win, 112-85. I still don't know if I like this Mavericks team. I watched this game last night for like the first quarter. This Mavericks team, they just play so uninspired. I don't know what it is about this team. Yeah, they won last night, but it's still, I don't know what to think of this Mavericks team, folks. Luka Doncic, he gets it done, they win. He gets it done, they lose. It's just like, can't really get my finger on the pulse of this Mavs team. They just never look good winning, but They got the win last night, so we still give them credit. Mavericks get the win 112-85. And then the last game of the night here, Rockets at the Kings. And the Rockets kept it decently competitive, but then the second half came, and they just could not really keep it up. But the Kings, a nice win here, 126-114 over the Rockets. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox, 27 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, magnificent. Marvin Bagley at the 4, 26 points, 13 rebounds. And then we have Harrison Barnes with the solid 16 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds at the 3, wonderful. And then coming off the bench, Buddy Hield, 19 points on 4 of 10 from the 3, classic Buddy Hield game. And then Terrence Davis coming off the bench as well, 14 points in 17 minutes. And then for the Rockets, Christian Wood doing his thing at the 5, 26 points, leading the team in scoring, 8 rebounds. We know how that goes when your big is kind of your face of the franchise, your leading scorer in and out every single game. It does not result in any wins. They need other pieces here. Jashawn Tate, 17 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds, wonderful job. Eric Gordon, 16 points. Kevin Porter Jr., 16 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. And then Jalen Green, 11 big old points. So all the starters truly got it done last night. Solid bench performances coming from DJ Augustine, 11 points. And even, let's also shout out Alperen Sengun, 9 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds coming off the bench in only 13 minutes. Solid there, but they need that kind of guard superstar to help out superstar big Christian Wood. Kevin Porter Jr. is really solid here, but we need somebody to kind of do a little bit better than solid here for this Rockets team. So Rockets couldn't cover the spread last night, plus 5.5. We didn't take this game or anything because these two teams are trash, but that's what happened last night. Kings get the win here, 126-114. Alrighty, that was all the NBA from last night, so let's quickly see if we can continue our great streak of betting in the NBA, folks. We are 5 for 5 over the last 2 days, and we gotta love it. So let's see if there's any great value today in the NBA. We probably won't probably officially take anything, but we will officially endorse things for y'all today. I think we're just sticking strictly on football for the weekend because it is wild card and all that. Basketball, NBA, it will still be there after, still be here for us after the NFL. But let's find the value for y'all, and maybe for us. We could still dabble a little bit. Let's see what we get overall. Let's not push anything, but let's see what we get. Here we go. First game up here, Raptors at the Bucks. Raptors +7, Bucks -7 here. For the Raptors, Gary Trent Jr. is still a game time decision. For the Bucks, we get Brook Lopez. He's still out. Drew Holiday is out. So gonna miss a little bit of the guard play here. Raptors just played last night, and y'all know we don't bet the back-to-back, so we're going to stay away from this game. Don't really like any of the value either way. Raptors have been decently competitive, a little bit of a dip last night, and once again, back-to-backs. Now they've got the rhythm, they've got the energy, they got the flow. They just played last night feeling fresh, where the Bucks may come out slow, sluggish, because they didn't play last night. We don't bet the back-to-backs, and I don't really love the value either way, so we'll stay away from this one. All right, then we get Blazers at the Wizards. Blazers +7.5, Wizards -7.5. For the Blazers, McCollum still out, Lillard still out, Larry Nance Jr. is out, and Norman Powell is out. But we do get Anthony Simons good to go, and that's kind of a huge green flag for this Blazers team. And then for the Wizards, Bradley Beal is out, and Davis Bertans is out. All right, this Wizards team has been trending up. A nice 3-game winning streak here. Not ready to swallow 7.5 points with them. Blazers on the flip side, they really only have Nurkic and Anthony Simons. Is that going to be enough to cover the 7? I don't like this game either way. We're going to stay away from it. Then we get the Pelicans at the Nets. Pelicans +6. Nets -6. Alrighty, for the Pelicans, everybody's good to go besides Zion, like we know. And then for the Nets, LaMarcus Aldridge is out. Kyrie Irving cannot play because it's in Brooklyn. And Nicholas Claxton is a game time decision. So if they don't have any LaMarcus Aldridge, he's definitely out. And Nicholas Claxton being a game time decision here, they're going to have no bigs. And Valanciunas can go wild here. Can potentially go wild. Yes, there's Blake Griffin. And all right, are we going to believe in Blake Griffin? No. To get it done over Valanciunas, yeah, good luck. So, oh man, this one is kind of right on that line of decent value, not decent value. We're not going to push it. If you're interested in this game and you are kind of liking the Pelicans +6, I would give you a little endorsement. I would kind of give you, if you're feeling good with it, I would kind of feel all right with this. So if that's enough to boost you to the Pelicans +6, I think that's the only the only push we'll give you. It's a tiny little push of we kinda like it maybe a little bit. So if that's all you needed to bet the game, there it is for y'all, but we won't officially take it. Then we get the Knicks at the Hawks. We get Knicks plus 2.5, Hawks minus 2.5. Hawks on the back-to-back. We'll stay away from it. Then we get what do we got up next here? 76ers at the Heat. Both of these teams just played last night, so we got to doubly stay away from this one. Cavs at the Thunder. Cavs minus 5, Thunder plus 5. Cavs just played last night. Got to stay away from it. Bulls at the Celtics. Both of these teams just played last night. Definitely staying away from this one. And Bulls being plus 6 here, folks. Yeah, they may seem like good value, but they got absolutely smoked. No Zach LaVine. So how are they going to be able to overcome that? And we still know their bench isn't really good. Kobe White's really their only bench player, so that's probably why you don't trade Lonzo Ball for Kobe, to have Kobe White being the starter, just because this Bulls team really doesn't have any depth, and y'all know how we feel about the Celtics team. We can never really bet on this team. So staying away from this game in totality. We get the Clippers at the Spurs. Spurs coming off the back-to-back. Clippers, is Paul George back? No, so definitely got to stay away from betting this game. Clippers plus the 2, Spurs minus 2. Then we get the Lakers at the Nuggets. Finally, teams that aren't playing back-to-backs, finally. So Lakers plus 4, Nuggets minus 4. Here we go for the Lakers. LeBron, game time decision. Carmelo, game time decision. Dwight Howard, game time decision. Anthony Davis and Kendrick Nunn are both still out. For the Nuggets, everybody's basically good to go here. Will Barton is a game time decision. We know we can't bet the Lakers because no AD, and we can't bet the Nuggets because they literally have no offense besides Joker down low. So we're staying away from this game. No great value. And then the last game, Magic at the Mavericks. Both of these teams just played last night back-to-back. We stay away from it. Magic plus 11, decently appetizing. We just saw them win games. We've seen them being competitive, getting a lot of points. So once again, if you do kind of like the Magic plus the points there, we will give you a tad little endorsement. We're not going to officially take it or officially endorsement, but if you're already leaning that way, we'll give you the little extra, blow to kind of push you, all right, get you over the edge of making that pick. But that's our only endorsements of the night, folks. If you already like the Magic plus 11, okay, we kind of maybe see it. And what was the other one? Pelicans plus 6. Yeah, maybe Valanciunas getting it done. So we are not officially endorsing anything today. Nothing really fantastic tonight. So we'll stay away from it and keep our great streak continuing for a better day overall. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to go over for today. So now let's get into the discussion, folks. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and let's start discussing and talking it through. Who should be the 2021-2022 NFL season MVP? We have to do it today, Saturday, before the wild card games kick off. We cannot have any playoff games, playoff performances influence our decision. The MVP is a regular season award, so we have to do it today before the games kick off. After we already see a play here or there, we may be tainted. Not consciously, maybe subconsciously, but either way, it would be tainted if we watched some of these playoff games and then talked about the MVP. So we must do it today, the last day we can, without being influenced by playoff games and performances. So we're going to talk through the candidates, folks. We got the odds. DraftKings is not putting out the odds. Once again, I don't understand. Did we miss voting on the MVP? All of that. But we did find kind of, the most recent odds. So we're going to take really kind of the top, really just like the top 2, but we'll talk about 3 others that are kind of rounding out the top 5 of just kind of, who has the best odds of winning the MVP. So we've got the 5 real key players we're going to watch stats on. We'll look at stats, break down the stats. There are some film I want to watch, some just highlight packages from YouTube, courteous of YouTube, so shout out to that. And shout out to all those people that uploaded those videos as well. So we'll watch some film, highlights. How are you doing? We'll only watch like 5-6 minutes of these highlight tapes, but what can you show us that you did in these 5-6 minutes? Are you looking so great throwing the ball? Are all your highlights dink and dunk that broke big? We'll watch it all through and decide. But there's really going to be about 5 categories that we're going to kind of grade and kind of give a value scale on these categories from 0 to 10. And we'll also do half a point value. So 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, all that. So the categories that we are going to be kind of breaking down are obviously stats, big wins, bad losses, some blemishes, what happened, bad games, all that. Film. How do we rank your film? And then just everything else, kind of an etc. category, all that, things that don't fall in the other categories that, got brought up or compared to other, position players around the league and all that. So we've got a ton to go over. So let's start it off here. But first, before we start talking about MVP, we got to know who's kind of in the running, who's kind of at the top, who's kind of the favorite, who could win and all that. So the most recent odds that I could really find at the current moment, folks. All right, here we go. We get the favorite Aaron Rodgers at -400. And let me preface it by saying this. We've been kind of tracking just kind of overall, who is kind of, in the media, odds-wise, kind of MVP favorite. And at the beginning, it was really kind of Tom Brady. And I was kind of agreeing, yeah, I could see Tom Brady definitely winning this MVP award. And then there was just a change around probably weeks 10, 11, 12, where everybody just kind of flipped overnight. It was kind of real bizarre, and we have said this on the show before because we've noticed it and we're like, where the heck did this come all of a sudden? It really didn't make any sense to us, and we really just weren't getting it. But let me see if I can back here. But the week 12, 11, 10, 11, 12, it all flipped from Tom Brady to like Aaron Rodgers. For some reason, we really just did not understand it. Aaron Rodgers really didn't do anything greater. And when we just kind of, think about, the Packers in general, they've got a lot of depth there besides Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is a fantastic quarterback, a fantastic passer, but they also have a really good running game and a running back by committee when, Aaron Jones was out and they had to go with Aaron Williams. A.J. Dillon. Let me get these running backs because I've been we've got to get these names right. I've been flip-flopping on the names. The running backs, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. That's correct. Starting is Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon coming in the backup. But when Aaron Jones missed a game or two, A.J. Dillon fills right in there and had a fantastic game that carried them to some wins. So I just didn't understand the big old narrative transition in the media, on social media, going from Tom Brady basically for the entire year, and then kind of like maybe the last month of the season, everybody went to Aaron Rodgers. It was real bizarre. I just didn't understand it. But Aaron Rodgers is the kind of the favorite overall. Then we have Tom Brady. And this webpage is not loading, so we lost the odds. But it was Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Cooper Kupp was number 3, Jonathan Taylor was 4, and Joe Burrow is 5. And we are going to kind of cut it off at Joe Burrow. Number 6 was Josh Allen, and there's no way I can give it to Josh Allen based on his completion percentage alone, and that's true, folks. He's throwing 63% completion percentage this season, which is good. Don't get us wrong, that's good. But given what he did last year, he's taken such a big step down from last season to this season. So for that really alone, I cannot make any argument for Josh Allen being MVP. Last season alone, 13-3 record. This season, 11-6. Last season, 69% completion percentage. This season, 63. That's such a big drop. I can't believe it. Last season, 4,500 yards. This season, only 4,400 yards. Last season, 37 touchdowns. This season, 36 touchdowns. Last season, 10 interceptions. This season, 15 interceptions. So just in every single statistical category here, Josh Allen has gotten worse from last season to this season. So for that alone, I am not even discussing. We're not even going to entertain the idea of Josh Allen being NFL MVP. Sorry, not sorry, but he can try again next season. Hopefully a little bit, more of a better try overall. So the main players that we are focusing on are going to be Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, and Joe Burrow. Now, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady are going to be kind of basically the main focus. We want to add Cooper Kupp in because he's having a phenomenal season. I wanted to add Jonathan Taylor in, but now, since, what just happened, not making the playoffs, Jonathan Taylor truly can't be really in the discussion, but we'll just kind of theorize and kind of just be like, if they didn't make the playoffs, how would he kind of compare? Could we even find a scenario where we could have given it to Jonathan Taylor? And then I want to see, can we give it to Joe Burrow? Because this is going to be interesting. This man has had a phenomenal end of the season, comeback player of the year, definitely. I think Joe Burrow has definitely wrapped up comeback player of the year. Yeah, Joey Bosa's, definitely in that running as well, but the, just kind of quarterback position and all that, the main focal point is unfortunate for Joey Bosa, but we'll see Joe Burrow's stats and his highlights and all that and truly break it down and just see, is there a chance that we can find a path and avenue for Joe Burrow to being MVP? So those are the top 5 here in the final odds. One more time. Aaron Rodgers minus 400, so the favorite. Tom Brady plus 400. Cooper Kupp plus 2,000. Joe Burrow plus 2,500. And then Jonathan Taylor plus 3,300. So those are the main players we are going to be focusing on. So let's start here. And we're going to start with, who do we got up here first? Tom Brady. So we'll do player by player. So we'll do stats, we'll watch the film, we'll go all through the categories and all that, and then we'll move on to the next player and all that. So, here we go. MVP talk, folks. Are y'all ready? Y'all better buckle in because we're going in depth, baby. We're going deep. We're breaking everything down to the nitty-gritty. Here we go. Tom Brady, MVP candidate number 1, like the dating game. MVP candidate number 1, Thomas Brady, graduating from Michigan, been in the league forever, and now the second year as a Buck, looking to repeat as champion. Yeah? So here we go. Tom Brady. Let's start with stats alone. That's the first category. And once again, like a 0 through 10 with half a point values as ranking, just for an overall number that we can kind of assign overall. How impressive. So here we go. Stats alone. Baseline stats, Tom Brady. Here we go. 67% completion percentage. Yes. We love it. If you're new here, we love 62 to 65% completion percentage. That's really where everybody should be for a good season. Anything above 65 is fantastic. And here we are at 67% completion percentage, throwing the ball 719 times, the most he's ever thrown the ball in a season, folks. The most ever by a real big margin. The second highest that I'm just seeing quickly would be 637. So that was his highest before this season, 637 passing attempts. This season, 719, almost 100 more passing attempts while throwing 67% completion percentage, which is basically his third highest overall for his entire career. Highest is 68%. Second highest is 67.5 this season. The third highest would be 67.4, which he did in 2016. So statistically, one of his most accurate seasons ever. Tom Brady, fantastic. 5,316 yards, the most he's ever thrown by almost far. He has thrown 5,235 yards in 2011, so he has secured a good 5,000 yard season in only a 16 game era. So Tom Brady's got that. That is something that you cannot really follow. The 5,000 yard season is not that glorious anymore. It's not that kind of holy moly because of the extra game. We kind of have to set a new number, and it's probably going to be like 5,600 and above. I don't know if you can do 6,000 passing yards in a 17 game season as of now. I think the highest was like 5,500. I think that was like either Peyton Manning or Drew Brees that threw it in a season. So that's kind of, the newish benchmark, like 5,600, 5,700. When somebody throws that in a 17 game season, that's when we can truly kind of get excited about it and truly be like, wow, like cartoon eyes bulging out of our head. Wow, holy moly, 5,600 yards. Wow, that's great. So 5,300, still impressive, don't get us wrong, but it's not like jaw-dropping because it is now the 17-game era. But still, 5,300 passing yards. That led the league this season. Led the league in total yards. That's pretty gosh dang good given his age and all that, no? Then here we go. Touchdowns, 43 passing touchdowns, leading the league. 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. So double-digit interceptions, really not good. I understand it. 12, though, I mean, it's 43 to 12. Touchdown to interception ratio. What is that? 24, 36, 42. So, I mean, that is correct, right? 12, 24, 36, 48. 48. So it's almost 4-1, folks. It's like 3.5-1, which is fantastic. 3.5 touchdown to interception ratio. Absolutely amazing. Now let's quickly see how Tom Brady just kind of stacked up to his competition. So once again, we said he led the league in passing yards by 300. Justin Herbert was number 2, and Justin Herbert and Tom Brady were the only passers to throw over 5,000 yards. So he's kind of in a league of his own in this year alone. Tom Brady is. Attempts, he has thrown the most passes by far. The second highest was Justin Herbert throwing 672 passes. Tom Brady throwing 719. So once again, he's up there in numbers, folks. This man is not just dinking and dunking. This man is just not barely, throwing the ball. That's why all of his kind of stats are good. No, this man is throwing it way more than any other quarterback. And just quickly, let's take a, look at, Aaron Rodgers, because this is kind of his main, competition in the MVP discussion. We get Aaron Rodgers. Where is this man at? Aaron Rodgers, deep down this list. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers only threw the ball 531 times. So, I mean, we're talking about almost 200 more passes Tom Brady has thrown. 200 more passes than Aaron Rodgers, while only having about 1.4 percentage points less in completion percentage. I mean, that's really gosh dang good. So, overall, Tom Brady, I mean, he is way past the competition. He is really slinging it efficiently good. One of his best seasons he's ever had, folks. Are you understanding that? Tom Brady having the best season he's ever had at 44 years old and 165 days. 44 years, 165 years old, and this man is getting it done as almost better than any other quarterback, young, old, middle of the road, it doesn't matter. So for that alone, I'm giving Tom Brady a 9.5 statistically. It would have been a full-blown 10 if he had single-digit interceptions, 9 or less, even 10. I think I still do it at 9.5. It would have been a closer argument because 10 is like right on the cusp of double digits. Obviously, that's the first double digit that there is. But I'll do 9.5, and that's almost perfect, folks. It's literally almost perfect. That is really the only kind of blemish statistically wise for Tom Brady is the double-digit interceptions, but still at the end of the day, it's not that bad. It's only 12. I mean, let's quickly see everybody else in the league here. I mean, Justin Herbert, 15, Stafford, 17, Mahomes, 13, Carr, 14, Burrow, 14, Prescott, 10, Allen, 15, Kirk Cousins, only 7, but he didn't make the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers, 4, fantastic. We'll talk about that when we get to him. I mean, we get Matt Ryan, 12, Jimmy Garoppolo, 12, Mac Jones, 13, Kyler Murray, 10, Roethlisberger, 10, Tannehill, 14, Trevor Lawrence, 17, gosh dang picks, jeez Louise. We get Carson Wentz, only 7, but he still didn't make the playoffs, doesn't matter. Womp. Taylor Heineke, 15. Jared Goff, 8. Jalen Hurts, 9. Russell Wilson, 6. Russell Wilson only had 6 picks, and they were still that bad offensively. Let it loose a little bit more. Jeez Louise. So, yeah, I mean, we just see, 12, yes, it's not the greatest. Is it trash? No. Is it good? Nah. And so, overall, we do rank Tom Brady with a 9.5 in stats. That's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Alrighty, now, here we go. Next category, I want to take a quick look at our big wins. What were those big win games? Did they face people good all season? Were they facing like all the non-playoff teams so far? So let's walk through their schedule and count the big wins. This isn't going to be a numerical value, but we'll count the big wins. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we go. Starting at Dallas week 1, and they get the win, and we know that Dallas team is a good team. They're in the playoffs. They've got a home playoff game. They've won the division, and the Bucks win it by 2 points, 31-29, so that's a big win. Week 2, they beat Atlanta. They're not a big win. They lose against the Rams. That's unfortunately a big loss. And we got bad losses coming up, but let's do one at a time here. Then we get the Patriots, and obviously that's a big game. You know, going to New England, the story around it, he pulls it through. They win 19-17. Not a good game, but still a big win overall. He led the team. He helped the team win. It wasn't pretty, but he did get it done at the end of the day. It is still a big win. Then we get the Dolphins, not a big win. They beat Philadelphia 28-22. That's a good win. Do we count that as a big win? It is a playoff. Is that what we'll classify it as? That big wins are playoff and above, and so far this Eagles team is a playoff team, so I guess we'll say that is a big win. They beat Chicago. Okay. They beat the Saints right there. New Orleans. Yes. They lose to the Saints. Trash. Not good. They lose to Washington. Not good either. They beat the Giants. That's not a big win. They beat Indy. That's not a big win anymore. Unfortunate. They beat Atlanta again. Not a big win. They beat Buffalo. That is a big win. You know, going back to the AFC East, Bills division champions, all that. Good playoff team. That's another big win. We're at 4 currently. After the Bills, they get shut out by the Saints. We'll talk about that game. We'll come back to this one. They beat Carolina. They beat the Jets. They beat Carolina. So we've got 4 big wins here by Tom Brady this season. That's really it. That's a little underwhelming. I'm not going to lie. 4, I thought it would be a little bit more, but it's really only 4. Dallas, Patriots, Eagles. Who was the last one? Buffalo. So 4 big wins for Tom Brady. Now let's go to bad losses here. How many bad losses did Tom Brady have this season? Losing to the Rams, that's a big loss. This is one of the better teams in the league, folks. That is a bad loss right there. Who else have they lost to? They lost to the Saints. That's not a bad loss because it is division rival and all that. So the first game against the Saints, I'm not going to count as a bad loss. We've got another game against the Saints, so we'll talk about that. Then they lose to Washington, and yeah, that's inexcusable. You can't lose to that Washington team. That's a real bad team. You beat them in the playoffs last season, and now you lose them. We're going to count that as a bad loss. Then they lose to the Saints again, and we are going to count this as a bad loss, and we're going to count it as a blemish too. And the blemish is the next category up. So against the Saints the second time because they got blown out 0-9, shutout, blown out, all that. So that is going to be 3 bad losses here by Tom Brady this year. 3 bad, glaring, jarring losses. And now when we go to blemishes, yes, this is a giant blemish, putting up no points in this game. What the heck? Only 1 interception as well. I mean, come on. I thought he threw more. Tom Brady didn't throw 2 interceptions in that game? Is that right? He fumbled? Yeah, he fumbled laws. Okay. So I guess that's the 2 turnovers, an interception and a fumble. But that's a huge ass blemish, folks. That is a big ass blemish. Scoring 0 points throughout an entire game. I mean, we can't have that, especially when you're the quarterback making all the decisions. So that's a big old blemish. Shutout to the Saints. Huge old giant ass blemish. That is big black mark on this resume. A big old black mark, folks. Big old black mark. What else do we get? Multiple interception games. He's had 1, 2, 3 games of 2 interceptions. Double digit multiple interceptions. That's a little bit of a blemish as well. 3 games with multiple turnovers. Is that how we should phrase it? Because he had another game where he threw 2 interceptions and fumbled once and lost it. So we'll count it multiple turnover games, and he's got 1 against Dallas, 2 interceptions. Then we have 1 against the Saints in their first meeting, not the blemish loss, but their first meeting, 2 interceptions and a fumble loss. Then the next game against Washington, the loss, 2 interceptions. So that is it. We've only got 3 games here where he has 4, because against the Saints, the last meeting, 1 interception and 1 fumble loss. So 4 games of double-digit turnovers. That's a little bit of a big old blemish, folks. So that's really Tom Brady's 2 big blemishes. He won the division, fantastic. He won at the end of the season, but just a couple of blemishes, the 0-point game against the Saints, and then all these double-digit turnover games cannot be happening. Alrighty, so now let's quickly watch. So we've taken care of every category here. Everything else, I don't really think we can really do. Is there anything else that we didn't really talk about? Anything, any storyline, any narrative that's coming to mind throughout the season? I guess we can do overcame Antonio Brown. That's a check. That's a plus. Overcame that dysfunctionality. Pretty solid. Overcame Leonard Fournette getting injured, for the final couple of games of the year. I guess that's some positives that we could give Tom Brady here. So we'll do a check mark in our everything else category, a check mark of overcoming Antonio Brown, and we'll also say overcoming running backs and defensive injuries. They got, out to a bad start defensively. Running backs kind of at the end of the season. So overcame some nice injuries here. Injury overcoming. So we'll put that as well. So 2 check marks in our everything else category. So now let's head to the film. And we've got the best plays. This is from the Bucs official YouTube page. So, I mean, if anybody knows Tom Brady, it's going to be the Bucs brass. It's going to be the Bucs social media team, no? So 5-minute highlight tape. We'll watch it, maybe go through it quickly, but we'll see the film now. It will scale this on a 0 to 10 just based on this film alone. The passing, accurate, deep, down the field, all checkdowns. That would not be the greatest. So here we go to round out Tom Brady's MVP scorecard. Let's watch his film, Tom Brady's best plays of 2021. Here we go. Let's see what you got for us, Tom. Stats were great. Everything else was great. Is the film just as good? Is the film agreeing with the numbers? Here we go. Tom Brady, first play in the red zone. Boom, right on the money. Chris Godwin, easy peasy, accurate. Well done, especially in the red zone. We all love that. Scoring in the red zone, getting touchdowns, not field goals. And Tom Brady knows scoring in the red zone. I mean, come on. So great throw right there. Here we go. Tom Brady back in the red zone. Play action bootleg. And then boom, squeezing it in there to Gronk on a tight ass hack throw. Look at how tight this one is, folks. Jeez Louise. All 3 of these defenders right there on the goal line. And there's Gronk, the big body, finding his weapons. First game of the season against the Cowboys. This is the Cowboys game. Here we go. Second quarter here. Down 2 points. Tom Brady at midfield. Ready to go deep. And he's going deep. And bingo, bango. There he is, wide open. That's a 50-yard bomb by Tom Brady. The man still got it, folks. 50 yards. Let's count the air yards here. Literally launched it from the 50-yard line. Ball touchdown at about the 3-yard line. So, yeah, 47-yard arm cannon by Tom Brady to take the lead right before halftime. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yes, sir. And that's Antonio Brown that he threw that 50-yard deep ball to. Once again, I mean, this is a true weapon, folks, overcoming him for that game that he kind of quit on and then won the final game. That's pretty still good. That's still a good green mark for his resume overall. Alrighty, here we go. Now in the third quarter against the Cowboys again. Back in the red zone, getting pressured. Finds Gronkowski right on the money right here. Yeah. And that's another touchdown in the red zone. Alrighty, Tom Brady firing right out of the gate here this season. Game number 1 against the Cowboys, folks. Now here we go. Week number 2 against the Falcons. Tom Brady. Boom, a nice strike once against Gronkowski in the red zone from the 20-yard line and just finding those open receivers, putting it right on the money. This is great quarterback work here by Tom Brady. Is it the flashiest? It's not so far the flashiest. He did have the 50-yard bomb. That's pretty flashy. But I mean, just accurate, precise, getting it done, scoring the touchdowns. I mean, we saw that he had the most touchdowns. And then here we go. A nice 50-50 ball to Mike Evans. The man knows his personnel. AB, we give him the deep ball because that's what AB does. So does Mike Evans. Then in the red zone, we're targeting our big body tight ends. That's what you do. That's what Josh Allen does. Targets Dawson Knox in the red zone. And then go to Mike Evans in every other piece of the field. Whenever you can't go to AB, whenever you can't go to Gronk, you go to Mike Evans. And when both of those are covered, you throw it up to Chris Godwin on a nice little corner route in the end zone and another fantastic, accurate, on-the-money throw for another touchdown here. Reed taking the lead in the fourth quarter. Big time impressive, folks. Big time impressive. Alrighty, next play up here against the Dolphins. Here we go. They're absolutely smacking them 31-17. Tom Brady's like, I want a couple more points here. He's going deep again, stunting again, and here we go. It's Mike Evans on the deep ball this time, launching it from the 40-yard line, getting it right down to the goal line. So nice 40-yard bomb. Tom Brady's cannon is still there, folks. Accurate as heck. I mean, man, oh man, when you've got these great receivers, you utilize them. And once again, just look at that. That's, man, oh man, that's great touch. That's great accuracy. And that's another touchdown for this Bucs team and Tom Brady. Man, oh man. All right, what else do we got up next here? Here we go. A couple of weeks later against the Saints here. Ooh, we know it wasn't the greatest showing for the Saints, but once again, going deep, targeting Mike Evans. Yes, sir. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Another kind of 45-yarder, close to 50-yard bomb right here. Probably 40, probably 45, probably officially right there. But once again, just taking those deep shots, never hesitating, trusting his receivers. And when he trusts his receivers, he puts it right on the money. Let's watch the accuracy. We'll get a great look right here. I mean, Mike Evans, do you see him go extend? Do you see him extend any? No, he's just running at his regular pace that he did the entire route, and it's right in the breadbasket. It's right in his chest because Tom Brady is accurate as heck, a la the 700 attempts on 67% completion percentage. Absolutely magnificent. Here we go. Tom Brady going deep again. Wide open right here. Let's count the yards. Throws it from his 40-yard line. Gets it all the way down to the 15. So we got 10 plus 35, close 45-yarder right there. Bingo, bango, wide open. Airing it out, never afraid to air out this ball. Still has the arm to air out this ball. This was about week 7, 8, so about, close to the midway point of the season right here. Tom Brady's arm is still fire. Fire. Look at this one. Here we go. This one's just wide open. Tom Brady right on the money again. You gotta love it. Here we go. Couple of weeks later now against the Bills. Is the big arm still there? We're at about week 13 right here. Is the big arm still here? Tom Brady, a nice little throw over the middle of the field. This one breaks big because of the accuracy by Tom Brady. It goes big, folks. It's just a little crossing route over the middle of the field, but the receiver beat the defender. Tom Brady put it on him, and he takes it the final 50 yards for the touchdown. Real solid right there, and that wasn't Antonio Brown. That wasn't Mike Evans. That wasn't Chris Godwin. That's Perriman right there. Brashad Perriman, if that's correct. But either way, last name Perriman. Okay? So, Tom Brady getting it done regardless of pieces. Superstars overcoming Antonio Brown, all that. And then here we go against the Jets. Tom Brady going deep again, and there's another great wide receiver who we don't really kind of premiere here for the Bucs, Grayson Jr., Cyril Grayson Jr., folks. Tom Brady finds him deep down the field, puts it on him deep down the field. So Tom Brady going to all of his playmakers, all of his receivers with 15 seconds left to win the game. Game-winning touchdown pass to no Antonio Brown, to no Mike Evans, to no Chris Godwin, to no Scotty Miller, to no Cameron Brate, to no Gronkowski. He goes to Cecil Grayson Jr., folks. Impressive. So overall, Tom Brady slinging the ball all throughout the season. Arm is still good. All the receivers getting all the playmakers involved, getting it done in the red zone. Really impressive. So we will give him an 8.5 for his film. Really great. Great arm, great accuracy, getting everybody involved in the red zone. Checking all the boxes right there. 8.5 on Thomas Brady, his film package that we found, folks. Random film package. We didn't kind of, preview the film, anything like that. Random 5-minute clip. That's all we wanted, and we got an 8.5. So, Tom Brady scorecard for MVP, folks. Are you all ready? Here we go. 9.5 for stats out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. 4 big wins, 3 bad losses. His blemishes. He was shut out to the Saints. Shout out to the Saints. What else did I write right here? 4 games? 4 games he had blemishes in? 4 games of double-digit turnovers. So those were his 2 blemishes. Shout out to the Saints in 4 games of 2 or more turnovers. We ranked his film in 8.5, and then the etc. category, we got positives of overcoming Antonio Brown leaving the team and overcoming running back and defensive injuries kind of sprinkled out through the entire season. So that is Tom Brady's resume for winning MVP this season. Pretty good. All right, but now let's compare that to Aaron Rodgers, folks. Aaron Rodgers, his biggest competitor to the MVP award, the favorite so far. Do we agree? I don't think I agree, but let's talk it through to see what everybody else is seeing. What are we maybe not seeing? Are people seeing things that we don't see? So let's quickly find that out. So now let's start breaking down Aaron Rodgers in the same categories and all that. So let's start with the stats by Aaron Rodgers this season. Alrighty, 68.9 completion percentage. Absolutely magnificent here. That's what Aaron Rodgers does. His completion percentage is always so gosh dang good. Overall, way better than Tom Brady's kind of on a year-by-year basis overall. So 68.9%, basically almost 69%, just about almost 2 points lower than what he did last year. But last year was fantastic. He threw 70%. Let's quickly see where his 67% ranks here. Was this, or 68, was this the highest? We get Joe Burrow throwing 70%. Man, oh man, that's so gosh dang good, folks. We get Dak Prescott throwing 68.8. We get Aaron Rodgers at the 68.9. We get Jimmy Garoppolo at the 68.3. So overall, I mean, we get Aaron Rodgers at basically, number 2 here? Number 2 in completion percentage overall for the entire year? Yes, sir. Very, very well done there. All right, yard totals, and this one's, classic Aaron Rodgers, folks. Only 4,100 yards, nowhere near his highest. He's never thrown for 5,000 yards, 16 games, 17 games. That's not Aaron Rodgers, because we do know he likes to throw the ball away a little bit more. That's why the yard totals are down, and that's why the interceptions are just down compared to every other quarterback, because he is a little bit more conservative with the football. Now, obviously, that does not translate to wins or losses, because the man has gone 3 straight years of 13-3. So, it's just it's not the biggest knock on Aaron Rodgers, but it is a little bit of a knock there. He doesn't really take the risks, high risk, high reward, which is it a bad thing? We can't really classify it as a bad thing, because once again, he's winning games. He's getting the NFC Championship games, all that, but he doesn't win the NFC Championship games, maybe because he doesn't take those big shots. That's just an overall kind of little bit of a knock on Aaron Rodgers totality-wise, but let's keep it up here on just this season alone. So 4,100 yards, it's good. Don't get me wrong. 4,100, if you're not throwing over 4,000 yards in a season, I mean, what are we doing here? I'm never impressed with 3,800, 3,900 yard seasons. I mean, what is that? I mean, if you're throwing 4,000, yeah, that's what we want you to be. Absolutely. So let's quickly see where that kind of ranked with Aaron Rodgers. 4,100. We obviously know that's way less than Tom Brady, but I mean, that ranks kind of like 10th highest in the league, folks. Passing yards. Kirk Cousins threw more yards. Josh Allen threw more yards. Dak Prescott threw more yards. Joe Burrow threw more yards. Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year, threw more yards. Derek Carr, with no John Gruden and all of his receivers getting into car accidents and murdering people accidentally and just kind of getting DUIs just in general, truly living into the Sin City mantra that Vegas is. So that, Derek Carr threw 800 more yards, 700 more yards than Aaron Rodgers. We get Patrick Mahomes, 4,800. We get Matthew Stafford throwing more. We get Justin Herbert throwing more. These are the quarterbacks that threw less than Aaron Rodgers. Matt Ryan, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, dual threat. Ben Roethlisberger with no arm still only threw 400 yards less than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers threw 400 more yards than no arm Big Ben. I could go out there and throw 3,700 yards in a season, okay, folks? If Big Ben could do it, I'm sure I could do it as well, okay? Ryan Tannehill, 3,700. Trevor Lawrence, 3,600 yards. Carson Wentz, 3,500 yards. And they barely threw the ball at the final 5 games of the year. Carson Wentz still only threw like 600 yards less than Aaron Rodgers, even though they threw the ball like a collective 10 times during the last 5 games, okay? So Aaron Rodgers, 400 yards. It's never been that spectacular. It's an all right number. It's nothing fantastic. Now the touchdown to interception ratio. This is fantastic. 37 touchdowns. Very good. Very great. 7 interceptions. Let's quickly see where he ranks in touchdowns compared to everybody. We know, Tom Brady with 43. We have Matthew Stafford with 41. Aaron Rodgers with 37 seems to be about kind of 4th highest, 5th highest. Dak Prescott also threw 37, and Patrick Mahomes also threw 37. Herbert threw 38. Stafford 41. Brady 43. So, about kind of number 5, 6, wherever you want to rank them. Touchdowns a little bit light, still good, a little bit light, but the 4 interceptions, only 4 interceptions. That's absolutely immaculate. The least interceptions by far here. We mentioned Kirk Cousins had 7, and that was really it. Carson Wentz also only had 7, but they weren't throwing the ball. So there's really only 2 quarterbacks. Daniel Jones had 7, but he only played 11 games. So there's really only like 3 quarterbacks that played every single game that threw under double-digit interceptions. So that we will give Aaron Rodgers a ton of credit for. Touchdown to interception ratio, what do we got? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. I mean, folks, we're talking about 9-1. 9-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely almost unheard of. I would say that's the record, just coming off of the top of my head here, not knowing the actual record. I would say, yeah, that's the record. You tell me 9-1, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably the record, and I agree. Yeah, you could lie to me, I would believe it, okay? So Aaron Rodgers, great on the completion percentage, great on the touchdown to interception ratio, just a little average-ish on the overall yard, just nothing fantastic. So overall, we will give Aaron Rodgers an 8.5. 8.5? 8.5. Completion percentage, great. Yards, though. Yards is glaring, folks. Like 4,500 yards, I would have bumped this up to 9. Absolutely. But just everything else, those yards totals are so low. Missed the game. Only played 16 games. Another kind of a little bit of a blemish on Aaron Rodgers that we will mark. Let's mark that now since we just brung it up. A blemish on Aaron Rodgers' resume. Oh, did not play season finale. I get they didn't need to, but still, you didn't play that last game. Another body of work out there. Tom Brady just got another win. I mean, all right. So, did not play week 17. Week 18. So, that's a blemish on Aaron Rodgers, not playing the entire season. Sorry, not sorry. I don't make the rules, folks. Everything else was really good stat-wise besides those yards. Very, very low. He throws 4,500, no problem. That's a 9. He throws 5,000. This is close to a 10. Very close to a 10 if he throws 5,000 yards. I would have wrestled with giving him a 10. But 4,100 yards, extremely low, folks. I cannot go any higher than 8.5 on the stats, which is still fantastic. Alrighty, now here we go. Aaron Rodgers, big wins. What were these big wins of the season? Did they have any big wins? Did they face bad teams all year? Here we go. Aaron Rodgers, big wins. Opens up against the Saints. Oh boy, Saints beating the Packers bad, beating the Bucks bad. The Saints were like, hey, if you're MVP candidate, we're not going to let you have an easy game out here. So shout out to the Saints for that. Unfortunately, don't make the playoffs, but, taking it to the best teams, the best players fearlessly. So, congratulations to the Saints. You get that award of beating up on the potential MVP. Congratulations. That may be a bad loss. It's definitely going to be a bad loss. We'll talk about that. But let's stick here with the big wins. They beat Detroit. They beat San Francisco 30-28. That's a big win. The 49ers are in the playoffs. They beat Pittsburgh, which I guess it's a big win. They're in the playoffs. I can't count the Steelers as a big win, folks. I'm sorry. I know they're a playoff team, but they should not be. I'm not counting the Steelers as a playoff team. I'm not counting them as a big win. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not doing it. They beat the Bengals. I'll definitely say that's a big win. That's a huge win. They win 25-22, but remember, once again, they shouldn't have really won that game. So they went close there. I believe it was in overtime. All those kind of missed field goals and all that at the end of the game. So they really shouldn't have won that game. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a different category. But that's a big win against the Bengals. Then they beat Chicago. Not a big win. They beat Washington. Not a big win. They beat Arizona. Once again, shouldn't have really been a win. A.J. Green drops the ball in the end zone. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But still a big win at the end of the day. They beat the Cardinals. They are in the playoffs. They beat Seattle 17-0. That's a good win overall. Not Aaron Rodgers, but overall for the Green Bay Packers, shutting them out 17-0. Then they beat Minnesota. Oh, no, they lose against Minnesota. They beat the Rams, though. That's a huge win, 36-28. They beat Chicago. They beat Baltimore. They beat Cleveland. They beat Minnesota. They lose to Detroit last game of the season because Aaron Rodgers was not out there for the entire game. When he was out there, they were, winning, being competitive. But then they stuck with Jordan Love. So I guess, Aaron Rodgers, he did kind of play Week 18. So I will erase that. That is right. He did play the first half. So we will get rid of that. Playing the first half, still getting it done, not wanting to injure him in the second half. I get it. We will erase that from his blemishes. Alrighty, so we get 4 big wins for Aaron Rodgers. The 4 were the 49ers, the Bengals, the Cardinals, and the Rams. The 4 big wins. All right, now the bad losses, the bad beats of the year. Week 1, losing to the Saints and how they lost it. That's a big old bad beat right there. First game of the year and getting absolutely obliterated, 38-3. That's a bad loss. Then their next loss to the Vikings. They lose 34-31. Not really too big of a loss there. Competitive. Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns, no picks, 69% completion percentage, 385 yards. I won't count that as a bad loss. That's a loss. I don't know if it's bad. And then we get the last loss was against Detroit, where he only played the first half but got it done. 77% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, no picks. What was the lead going into halftime? I don't think they were winning. I think they were losing by 3. But I just want to quickly see. I'm not even going to count it as a bad loss because he only played half the game and it's not loading, so we won't even spend any more time on it. So overall, only 1 bad loss by Aaron Rodgers. That's pretty good. Tom Brady, 3 bad losses. Alrighty, now the blemishes. Any big blemishes on Aaron Rodgers, season? Once again, we'll do double-digit turnover games, and I believe he only has 1 here, which came the first week of the season here against the Saints, throwing back-to-back. 1 was a pick 6, 1 was just a regular interception. We see that by Aaron Rodgers, when he does throw interceptions. We can probably account for 2, and 1 maybe being a pick 6, and the other one coming right after the second one, or the second one coming right after the first one. That's kind of his MO a little bit. We've seen that a little bit more than we would like to by Aaron Rodgers, but so that's a little bit of a blemish right there. Just 1 game of double-digit turnovers. 1 game of double-digit turnovers. That's his only blemish. 1 game of double-digit turnovers. Double-digit turnover. Alrighty, any other blemishes here? A bad passing performance, anything like that? 195 yards, they still get the win. 184 yards, he still gets the win. 138 yards at halftime. Unfortunate, they lost the game overall, but I think that may be the only blemish on Aaron Rodgers' resume. Really, is that? The 1 game of double-digit turnovers where Tom Brady had 4. So, alrighty. So that's Aaron Rodgers' only blemish. Now we go to everything else, and this is where it's going to get a little little interesting. Let's see. So Aaron Rodgers, folks, we know that this Packers team, I think, is a little bit more overall than Aaron Rodgers, as it wasn't one of his best passing seasons where they're throwing the ball all the time. They're getting it done with the running game as well. So I kind of just want to quickly see what this Packers offense was doing with their running backs, because once again they were winning games with their second running back as a starter, still getting it done. Aaron Rodgers, being out this second half, and they only lose by 1 touchdown last week. I think this team overall is more than just Aaron Rodgers, where when you look at the Bucs of the running backs, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette's out and he's still able to get the win, and they're barely running with Ronald Jones this season and all that. Where with the Packers, I want to see these stats here and how much contribution they had in touchdowns and all that. So here we go. Aaron Jones, who obviously is their starting running back, very, very good. He only has 4 touchdowns this season. Damn. 4 touchdowns and 800 rushing yards. But then we also have their second running back, A.J. Dillon here. with 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. So we got 9 scores here between the running backs. We're going to look at the Tom Brady's running back numbers, because if they are worse than these running back numbers, then that's going to be a little bit of a knock on Aaron Rodgers for MVP because of overall the team aspect, where Tom Brady carrying the team, most valuable player, where yes, Aaron Rodgers is good, but still the running back by committee was pretty good this season with the Packers. And I want to see these 2 games. Let me bring these up because we know A.J. Dillon started a couple games because Aaron Jones was out. So A.J. Dillon, let's get that up because they won those games and he had great games. I think he had like 100 yards rushing when he started. So let's get those career stats up, and then once we get these numbers, we will compare them to the Bucs running backs to see if this is going to be a negative knock on Aaron Rodgers or if this is just a nothing burger and we won't even count it as anything. So here we go. A.J. Dillon starting in week 11, and they lost this game his first start. Wow. He only had 44 yards, and they lose that game to the Vikings. So, alrighty. And then, did he only is that right? I thought he started way more than that. He only started week 11 and week 18? Is that right? Let me get when, this is A.J. Dillon. We want, folks, it's something with these running backs for the Packers. I can never keep their name straight. Aaron Jones. Here we go. Aaron Jones. Let's get his career stats up here. Let's see what games he missed, because I don't think those were his 2 games, but here we go. Let's get the numbers up here so we can double check the stats and all that. The games, the stats. Here we go. All right, so Aaron Jones. What games did he miss here? He didn't play week 11. He didn't play week 18. Is that right? I don't know what I was thinking then. Interesting. All right, so Aaron Jones started weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No week 11, 12, 13, 14. So weeks 13 and 11. What happened there with A.J. Dillon? Weeks 13 and 11. 11 was the one that he started against Minnesota, and they lost the game. He only had 44 yards rushing. Weeks 13 was their bye, and then week 18, he didn't play. So, alrighty, I guess I was a little wrong there. Yes, A.J. Dillon is good, but Aaron Jones was really out, and when he was out, they didn't win those games that he was out. So, alrighty, that is interesting. All right, now let's quickly look at these Tampa Bay running backs here quickly. Ronald Jones, he has 4 touchdowns and only 428 yards. And then we have Leonard Fournette here with 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. So overall, these running backs combined for 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns, where with the Packers running backs, we get 1,600 yards and 9 touchdowns. So more yardage work there than the running backs for the Bucs. So once again, running back by committee was good for the Packers. A.J. Dillon was serviceable without Aaron Jones, where really Ronald Jones wasn't as serviceable as Leonard Fournette. So it wasn't as extreme as I kind of was just thinking based on what we saw every week and all that. But it is still a little bit, not as much as I was saying. And I'm really only going to count it maybe like 20%, like 20% of what I was thinking it was going to be. So everything else, Packers had running back by committee. That's all we're going to really put. That's really how we're going to classify it. They had running back by committee, where the Bucs really didn't as much. Alrighty, so then we get, alright, so that was everything else, really, is just those running backs, really, just the running backs. Coaching is good, but same thing with Bruce Arians. That's a good coach as well, so I'm not going to put that at, Aaron Rodgers had a better coach. I think he had better running backs overall, but that's really it. Now let's quickly just look at the defensive stats quickly. Just the overall team defense. Was the Packers defense so much better than the Bucs, or were they just kind of right next to each other in all the categories? Because if the Packers defense was better than the Bucks. Once again, just the overall team is better a little bit for Aaron Rodgers, but I just want to see statistically quickly here defenses. So let's start here. The Bucks defense was kind of ranked number 5, but that's for points allowed is what the metric is on how they rank them on just this website. So Bucks 353 points allowed. The average is 390. So the Packers, they've given up 371 yards. All right, let's see. How many passing yards have they given up? The Packers have given up 3,700 passing yards. The Bucks have given up 4,000 passing yards. Rushing yards, the Packers have given up 1,800 passing yards. The Bucks have given up 1,500 passing yards. So, yeah, overall, yeah, the Packers are better passing defense, but the Bucks are better rushing defense, but overall they're kind of doing the same thing here defensively, not that much difference overall. All right, then this last metric right here, percentage of drives ending in an offensive score. The Bucks, 33% of the time the offense is going to score on the defense, and then for the Packers, 36% of the time the offense is going to score on the defense. So, yeah, overall, these defenses are basically the same, folks. So, yeah, pretty solid there by Aaron Rodgers. Alrighty, so we've gotten everything kind of marked up here. We just have to watch the film. Now, unfortunately for Aaron Rodgers, all we could find was a 24-minute highlight package here, so we're only going to kind of take 5 minutes. So let me put 5 minutes on the clock here to truly get it to only stick to 5 minutes, because we only watch 5 minutes of Tom Brady. We're only going to watch 5 minutes of Aaron Rodgers, so it's a little bit fair, a little bit on the same. So here we go. 5 minutes on the clock here. 5-minute highlight package by Aaron Rodgers. We'll jump around a little bit. We'll dance around, and hopefully we watch the best. It's the best we could find. Nobody put a 5-minute highlight package. Nobody put a 10-minute highlight package. Only one person did a 24-minute highlight package of Aaron Rodgers highlights for the seasons, which we appreciate. Don't get us wrong, but we have to work with what we are given, folks. All right, so here we go. Aaron Rodgers, 5 minutes. It will start right now. All right, here we go. 5 minutes of Aaron Rodgers. Let's see what they're kind of starting with, what they're cooking with. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers, a nice sling, nice crossing route. Bingo, bango, right there. Nothing that impressive. Here we go, airing it out now. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. See, this is such a treat of Aaron Rodgers watching this man throw the ball. What a throw there to Davante Adams. Double covered, but he puts it so much on the money. It's flawless. Here we go, play action pass. Bingo, bango. That's wide open. We'll skip this one. Here we go. Next pass is a little bit of a check down. We'll skip this one. Aaron Rodgers in the red zone. Bootleg. Getting it done. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Oh, we get a deep ball. All right, deep ball by Aaron Rodgers. Let's see what you got for us, Aaron. Going deep. Oh, Davante Adams in stride. Let's count the yards on this one. 15-yard line. Airing it out to the 30-yard line. So 35 plus 20. Folks, we're talking about 55-yard bomb. Ooh. Man, I love watching Aaron Rodgers, folks. I love watching this dude. Man, the stats aren't like anything, wooga, but man, when you watch this dude, ooh. Here we go, from outside the red zone right there. Once again, double covered, puts it right on the mother-loving money. Here we go again, nice little check down. Going deep here. Look how he just kind of twists back last second. Look at this dude. This dude is the OG Patrick Mahomes. Everybody getting big on Patrick Mahomes for, the crazy throws that he makes and all this and all that. But Aaron Rodgers has been doing that too, folks. Where's that appreciation? Man. All right, here we go. Another play action pass. They are running up the score here to the lines, but I don't give a damn. On the run. Great throw. Here we go against the Chiefs. Right on the money. I believe that's Allen Lazard. Aaron Rodgers floats it beautifully, masterfully. 3rd and 3. Here we go. Next play. Going deep, wide open, on the money. Let's count the yards on this one. Throwing it from the 25-yard line, getting it all the way down to the 30. So we get 25 plus 20, 45 yard strike in the red zone now. Aaron Rodgers buying all the time in the pocket. Ooh, just fit it in there to Davante Adams. Look at that rocket. Look at that zip. Ooh, look at that tight-ass window. Damn. Fantastic. All right, let's skip a little bit. into this, into the highlight package. Here we go. We're going to go to about 10 minutes now. Here we go. Next play. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers from his own 7-yard line going to Davante Adams. Jump ball, 50-50. You can always trust Adams to go up and get it like we know. Aaron Rodgers sling over the middle of the field. Once again, great accuracy, putting it right on the money. Ooh, another one right on the money. In stride. Here we go. In the money. In stride on the left sideline. This one's wide open. In front of the end zone on 4th down. Look at this one. Here we go. Let's watch this one. Here we go. 1st and goal. 10-7 down against the Cardinals. Boom, boom. Nice little, I believe that's Randall Cobb. Nice little 50-50 ball in the back of the end zone. Here we go. Nice strike down the middle of this field here. Slinging it, woof, in stride, going big over the middle of the field, getting it over the linebackers. Here we go in the red zone, finding, waiting, pump faking, making the right decision. Once again, Randall Cobb in the end zone, touchdown, Aaron Rodgers. Here we go, 3rd and 1, just a little quick flip right there for about 1 yard. All right, against the Seahawks. We get Aaron Rodgers going deep, a little underthrown, but hey, it's still complete and it still picked up an extra 15 yards after the fact. Aaron Rodgers, play action. Boom, strike over the middle of the field. Let's skip a little bit more towards the end of the season here. What do we got? We're about at week 13 right here. Boom, crossing route in the end zone. That's too easy. Davante Adams, 1-on-1. That's too easy. Winning right off the line. Aaron Rodgers putting it right on him. Bingo, bango. Aaron Rodgers, classic. Here we go against the Ravens. Boom, a strike, crossing route over the middle of the field. Here we go, going deep. Boom, a tad underthrown here. But still got it there. Look at him wind up. Bingo. Here we go, play action pass. Aaron Rodgers finds it over the middle of the field. 4 defenders all around this defender. Pressure barreling down on him. Still holds strong, stands tall. Fires an absolute sling of a rocket over the middle of the field for the 1st down. Aaron Rodgers on the run. Dink down. Aaron Rodgers in the red zone again. Boom. Check down. That goes big. Aaron Rodgers in the red zone again. Going to Davante Adams, who's winning right off the line of scrimmage. This is too easy. Why you got one man on Davante Adams in the red zone? You better triple, quadruple cover this, man. What are you, crazy? And then Aaron Rodgers. Boom. Another. Oh my God. This is the last play we'll watch. This is the 5 minutes is up, folks. Here we go. Last throw. Look at the accuracy. Oh, fantastic, folks. I mean, how many times did we go, wow, folks? I love watching this man sling the ball, and when you watch this dude, folks, I mean, that's all you can say is, holy cow, holy cow, wow. So I'm going to give that a 9.5. That's a 9.5 film right there, folks. 9.5 film. Alrighty, so now that we got the film down, we got to go back to Aaron Rodgers because there is one blemish I do want to put on Aaron Rodgers. We forgot to officially say it. We hinted toward it when we were talking about Tom Brady or his other stats, but I want to kind of go back here. So remember, the game against, who was it? The game against the Arizona Cardinals when AJ Green really kind of should have caught that ball. It was wide open, end of the game. I am going to kind of put that as a blemish for Aaron Rodgers. He really should have lost that game, really shouldn't have won that game against the Cardinals. We still count it as a big win, but we are going to put it as a little bit of a blemish mark because kind of got bailed out against a good team a little bit. And then who was the other team against? He did it twice. It was against the Cardinals, and the other one was the Cincinnati Bengals because everybody was missing field goals at the end of the game. So I'm going to say, in his blemishes, 2 games bailed out with wins. 2 games bailed out for wins. But that's really his only knock. Alrighty. So that's all the scorecards here for Aaron Rodgers. We got 8.5 at the stats out of 10. We got 4 big wins, 1 bad loss. His only blemishes, 1 game with double-digit turnovers, and 2 games that really weren't his against, playoff teams. So his big wins really should have dropped from 4 to 2. Only 2 big wins. The film was a 9.5. That was absolutely fantastic, folks. Absolutely magnificent. And then just in the etc. everything else category, Packers had, running back by committee. That's right. A little bit of extra running back by committee. A little bit more than the Bucs did. All right. Well, I thought we were going to be able to get to Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor and Joe Burrow, but obviously, folks, what have we been going, like 50 minutes here? We've only got the two. So we are going to have to kind of end it at the two, which, that's why we started with these two, because these are kind of the front runners. Maybe we'll kind of play around with these other quarterbacks a little bit later to kind of see if we could have even given them a chance. But just between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, now we've got to make the final decision. So, coming into this, folks, I was a little bit more leaning to Tom Brady. Obviously, I'm not being, what do y'all love to say? Your biases. Oh, you're biased. You're showing your biases. I'm not biased on anything, folks, okay? But coming into this, I was leaning a little bit more towards Tom Brady. But, truly breaking down those running back games and all that, it wasn't as glaring as I really thought it would. But the main difference here is really the stats. We've got Tom Brady at 9.5 and Aaron Rodgers at 8.5. And really, just the glaring thing that just makes me so frustrated with Aaron Rodgers is that he doesn't have these big-time yardage performances. That's really the only thing I need to see out of Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers ever threw 5,000 yards, yes, oh my goodness, I would love that. But the most he's ever thrown in a season was like 4,600. It's always been just a little light, always a little bit light here. And just this season alone, only 4,100. 9 other quarterbacks having better seasons. Joe Burrow able to throw more and Derek Carr able to throw more is just such a glaring issue, folks. It's really big bad. The bad losses, it's great. He barely loses, folks. Barely any blemishes. Tom Brady, 3 bad losses, both having 4 big wins. But remember, once again, those 2 should be shaved off of Aaron Rodgers. We're not going to shave him off. That's why we put him in the blemishes. But then we have Tom Brady with 4 games of double-digit turnovers, and then that 0 game, that's such a big blemish mark as well. Aaron Rodgers had no 0-point games. The least points he threw in a game was week 1. We can kind of, all right, Tom Brady did that in like the middle towards the back end of the season, the 0-point game against a division rival. That's way more inexcusable. After that, Aaron Rodgers, 35 points, 30 points, 27, 25, 24, 24, 24, 17, 31, 36, 45, 31, 24, 37, 30. Let's just quickly see how many points did the Packers put up compared to the Bucs? We get the Bucs putting up 511 points, where the Green Bay Packers only 450, so about 61 more points the Bucs put up. Still pretty good. Man, oh man. This is super tough, folks. This is way closer than I was really thinking. The 5,000 yards by Brady is great. Man, oh man. The stats by Brady, the all these attempts. How many more attempts did Tom Brady have this season than Aaron Rodgers? Tom Brady, 719 attempts. Aaron Rodgers, only 531, folks. We're talking about almost 200 more throws by Tom Brady. That's really what we're talking about. The main things that come down to this, the biggest things that need to be taken into consideration for both sides, for Tom Brady, his stars, are 200 more passing attempts with all of his yards, so much better than everybody else, is as efficient more than everybody else while throwing 200 more passing yards. And then the glaring issues of the 4 games in the shutout. That's really the main keys, the positives and the negatives for Tom Brady. The stats with the more than 200 more passing, but man, oh man, those jarring, glaring, big-time bad turnovers, and then the 0-point game, double-digit turnover games. Man, oh man. And then for Aaron Rodgers, the film, you just watch him. All you have to do is watch Aaron Rodgers, and you're like, yeah, that's the MVP. That's the mother freaking MVP, folks. But now we're talking back-to-back MVP. Is this a season for back-to-back MVP, folks? He did worse than last season. Everything was worse than last season. Can we give him an MVP again when Tom Brady did such greatness as well? Just has one really bad blemish of that 0-point game? Man, folks, this is close. This is close, folks. The big wins. They both got 4, but got to shave off those 2. Do we shave off? Should we shave them off? Cardinals shouldn't have been a win. Bengals really shouldn't have been a win. Man. Oh, this is close. Man, I don't know if it should be like Aaron Rodgers minus 400, Tom Brady plus 400. I think that's not close enough. I think it should be like minus 110 both, honestly. But Tom Brady's stats, folks, man, oh man, we got to give him credit, folks. These stats are immaculate. And once again, Aaron Rodgers with just all the Aaron Rodgers is good too. That's why it's so tough, folks. But I think we're ready to declare. I'm ready to declare. I am ready to declare, folks. The MVP should be Tom Brady. I got to go. Folks, that 200 extra. Let me see. The highest attempts in a season. Did Tom Brady just break a record for most attempts in a season? Because if that's it, then that's definitely going to secure it. Most passing attempts in a season. Let me see if I can find this fact quickly here. It was, yeah, all right, it's second highest. Matthew Stafford threw 727. Was that just this season? When did Matt Stafford do that? He was 24 when he did it. All right, so definitely not this season. But Tom Brady, second highest most attempts in NFL history. Let's go to Matthew Stafford. What was his completion percentage? Because if it was, not as good as Tom Brady's 67%, then yeah, that's definitely going to wrap it up for Tom Brady. So here we go. Final thing to look at here before we truly rest our case. Here we go. Matthew Stafford slinging the ball 727 times on 59% completion percentage. 59% completion percentage on 727 throws in 2012, where Tom Brady, second highest, 719, while throwing one of his most accurate seasons ever in his entire career, folks. I gotta give Tom Brady the MVP. Kind of just based off of that stat alone. We've been talking for 50 minutes on the subject, folks. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, but this is one of the most impressive stats, folks, and I think this really kind of encapsulates Tom Brady's season this year. Letting it go, being accurate, slinging the ball around to all of his great weapons, overcoming the injuries to his weapons, and still having a great season overall. Led the league in touchdowns. I gotta give Tom Brady the MVP, folks. Tom Brady is our MVP. That's what we've got, folks. That's what we've got. Tom Brady, officially our choice of MVP. Sorry, not sorry. Alrighty, folks. Man, oh man, that took a lot of time, but that's what we do here. I've got no problem, talking it all through, truly breaking down the numbers, going in depth, and just focusing on two players for 50 minutes. I've got no problem doing that. We might have went an hour. I don't even know how long now. But alrighty, that's what we're gonna do. That's it, folks. That's what we're going to do for today. That's what we've got for the show today. Now let's quickly just touch on these two playoff games today. This Bengals game has been climbing all day long, and I like to swallow the points. I would endorse it all the way up to -6.5. Bengals -6.5. It's at Bengals -6 now. This is probably going to be a touchdown game, but I love the Bengals offensive explosion more than I can rely on the Raiders to do so. Raiders on the road. We'll see if they can bring it. We'll see if Rich Bisaccia and Derek Carr can get this team ready to rock, focused playoff mentality. And then for the Bills and the Patriots at +4.5. It's going to be cold. Probably take the points here. So we're still sticking with our picks here. We've locked in Bengals -5 officially. So once again, value is slipping here, folks. Everybody is betting the Bengals minus the points, swallowing the points here. That's why that's rising. So lock that in when you can. And then for the Patriots, this one has stayed around +4.5. Everybody's betting both sides here, but the cold weather is going to get cold, folks. I know it. It's mother-loving freezing here, folks. So that's the two games on today. It's going to be great, but we'll break them down tomorrow. We're back tomorrow, noon Eastern, right before the Sunday playoff games that start at 1 o'clock, our classic Sunday game. 1-1, 1-4, 1-8, all great. So we'll be back for our pregame show tomorrow, folks. That's going to do it for us today. Does not seem like anything is breaking news here, folks. So we are going to get out of here. We're going to get ready and prepped up for this playoff day. It's going to be great. Playoffs kicking off. Cannot wait. So back live back live tomorrow noon Eastern, breaking everything down that we just watched today. We'll talk through tomorrow as well, and we'll break down any last seconds ins and outs, breaking news in general. We'll talk it all through tomorrow on our pregame show, noon Eastern, going up until kickoff for the 1 o'clock playoff game. Alrighty, folks. Hopefully, we told you enough information to kind of maybe, if you can bet, I don't know where we can bet MVP. I've looked at all kind of the sportsbook sites. They don't have any odds. So I think we missed it, but we do declare Tom Brady our MVP. Hopefully, y'all learned something about this, maybe kind of influenced you one way or the other, but whatever it is, Tom Brady is our MVP. Alrighty, folks. We are out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We're back live tomorrow noon Eastern, folks. Have a great one. Win some money this today and roll it over tomorrow. Watch some football. Hopefully your team wins if they're playing today. Alrighty, folks, we're out of here. Have an absolutely great one.